Good afternoon, everyone. I'm just checking. It looks we have admitted everyone. We're just about to start shortly. We have 38 people on, or 39 now. One more admit coming in. 39 people on the webinar. There will be more, I guess, coming in or trying to get in shortly. I will keep track of that. But it's already 2:07. Let's get Dr. Nadia to start the webinar. We will be recorded. So those who come in a little bit late, then later on they will be able to, we'll post it on Facebook, our Facebook page. You can go in there and look at it again if you miss any points or you need to review some of the points. So let's get started. And I'll be, during the presentation, I will be monitoring the chat. If you look at the bottom, all of you guys, if you look at the bottom of your screen, if you highlight the bottom of the screen, it pops up with some icons. You look at chat in there, you can click that button and you can message everyone. Please, when you do message, just message to everyone so that everyone can see it. Okay. And secondly, during the webinar, appreciate if you can mute your, on the bottom left there, you can see the mute button. You can mute your microphone. But if you need to talk later, please tell me and then you can unmute it so that you can ask your question if needed. Okay. It's just that during the presentation, we prefer Dr. Nadia to have not be distracted by sounds and all. Okay, with that, let's get started. Dr. Nadia, do you want to start?
Okay, thank you, Thomas. Okay, I will start by sharing the screen first. Okay, okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Zoom tip and tricks. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Happy Sunday. Okay, I hope that everyone is doing fine. So without further ado, let's start the session for today. So this is basically the overview of our today's session. Okay, and then first we will start on how to set your own free Zoom meeting. So as you can see from the WhatsApp that we already sent earlier on, is either you can use your laptop or your computer, or you can use your mobile phone to log into Zoom, right? Okay, so to me, I personally prefer using laptop. It is much easier to manage and handle. Okay, so also if you are using Zoom via your laptop, you can search for zoom.us. If you're using via your mobile apps, you need to look for Zoom Cloud apps. Okay, so let's shall start with using your laptop or computer first. Okay, when you have your laptop with you, try to search or Google for zoom.us. So this page will appear. Okay, so if you never sign in or sign up before, so you need to actually do some verification, enter your birth date. This is quite simple. And then for first time, if you sign up, you need to actually either use your email or you can also use your Facebook to sign up. Okay, so if you are using your email, you will get a confirmation link that you need to verify. And then subsequently, after you click on the verification link from your email, it will bring you to this page. Okay, before that, usually one screen will appear, either you want to invite your friends as well to join Zoom, or not, you can just directly for this one is the page is to start your test meeting, but you can actually go directly to go to my account to manage your account first before you start any meeting. Okay, if you click on manage my account here, uh, okay, let me try to find pointer. Okay, so you can see here, go to my account, you can see my pointer, right? Okay, so if you click on go to my account, you will go to this page. Okay, where you can see here on your left hand side there is your profile, meetings, webinar, and on your upper right hand side there is a shadow meeting, join a meeting, and host a meeting. Okay. So what you can do if this is your first time, maybe you can edit your name first. Okay. So click on edit and you can change your name accordingly. And then also add on your profile picture. So click on the change there on the picture. It's just like you uploading your picture on Facebook. Okay. So it's quite simple, this one. Okay, so this is my profile. So actually today, to make the session more smooth, because it involves a lot of screen transition, I already pre-record the session too. Okay, let's watch the pre-recorded video. We already have our account just now, already signed up for our account. So whenever we want to look at our scheduled meeting, or we want to set any meeting or host a meeting, we can always go back to this zoom.us, go to our account, like my account. Okay, so sometimes you need to log in again using your ID that you created just now. Okay, so this is my profile. You can see. Okay, this is I created a new profile that is a basic profile. So here you can see that it is a basic profile. Okay, so in the profile, it's basically just like you can change the name. Here is the name that will appear on the screen when you enter any meeting using your account. So my name here is Nadia Ashikin. So whenever I join any meeting using my email, using my Zoom, this ID or name will appear in that meeting. Also the profile picture. So if I off my video, so this picture will appear instead of just black background. Okay. So you can always edit here. You can see this is for you to edit your name. You can save all the other changes. Okay, and also if you want to change your profile picture, so you can do here. You can drag this cursor. Either you want your picture to be focusing on your face, or you want to have a larger picture like this. So it's all up to you. Okay, let's see how we can set our meeting. Okay, so we have three option here on top here, which is schedule a meeting, join a meeting, or host a meeting. Okay, so if you want to schedule a meeting, you can directly click here, or you go to this site, meetings. You can schedule from here, schedule a meeting. So upcoming is actually all the meeting that you have scheduled. So you can uh, see it here. Okay, so basically this is the meeting that I have set for example. So you can always edit this meeting even though you have scheduled it. As long as it hasn't started, you can always change the setting. You can click edit and always change the setting. So let's see how we want to schedule a meeting. How we can schedule a meeting. So click on schedule a meeting. Schedule a meeting. So you can always change the topic of your meeting. So let's say you want to meet for coffee chat. Okay. So description is up to you. Whatever description, or you just can leave it blank. So let's say you want to have the meeting on um next week Friday, so 30th. Okay, so the meeting is in the morning at 8 a.m. Okay, the duration, don't worry so much about the duration. You can always exceed the time duration. But please bear in mind that if you have one-to-one meeting, means that your participant is only one, so the meeting can be unlimited for this basic package. But if you have more than one participant, mean you have um, two or more friends who join in the meeting, so the meeting will be limited to 40 minutes. Okay, but don't worry. Again, you can rejoin the meeting using the same link and start back your discussion. So this is basically for the free account. Okay. So you can also set it as recurrent meeting. So let's say this coffee chat is you want to make it a monthly um meeting. Okay. So you can set it as recurrent. So recurrent every monthly. Okay. So repeat every month. So within every 30 days, blah blah blah. So you can set the occurrence. Okay. So you if it's only you want it to be only for once, so untick the recurring meeting. Okay. For me, so if you schedule a new meeting, the default setting for meeting ID is they will generate a new ID for you instead of using your personal meeting ID. So usually we will keep our personal meeting ID for our close friends, for certain people in our circle. Okay, there is an issue with cybersecurity if you share your personal meeting ID with stranger. Okay, it is called Zoom bombing, where someone when they know your meeting ID and also your passcode, they might enter your meeting and do all sorts of unnecessary things. Okay, but don't worry, I think so far Zoom is quite secure. That's why it is recommended if you plan to have a meeting with someone with outsider, you generate a new meeting ID with a unique passcode. Okay, so this passcode you can always change. Passcode is basically works as your password, specific for that meeting. Okay, so even though the passcode is specific for that meeting, so example I want to change the passcode here as quorum. So if it is a recurrent meeting, if we set it as a recurring meeting, every time the participant want to join, they will use the same passcode and also the same meeting ID for that particular event, for this coffee chat event. Okay. So video, don't worry too much on this setting, and also this one you can always change it while the meeting is ongoing. Okay, so you can save the setting here. Okay, now it will bring you to this page where you can see this is manage your coffee chat meeting. So this is the topic, so you either can add your meeting to your calendar, and then this is your meeting ID. This is unique and different from your personal meeting ID. Okay, so this is the passcode. So quorum. So you enable waiting room just now, so that whoever join your meeting need to have permission from the admin first. And this is the invitation link. Okay, so if someone have the invitation link, they can just click on the link and join the meeting. But if they don't have the invitation link, they can always join the meeting using this ID and also passcode. Okay, so this meeting and all the information of this meeting will be available at schedule meeting. So the upcoming meeting. So you can click here again if you want to see, let's say, if you want to do any changes in the future before the meeting started, you can always go back to the one that you have created and edit accordingly. Okay. So also if you want to start the meeting, so let's say now it's already Friday 30th, so you want to start the meeting, so you go back to this page and also click start if you are the host. Okay. Okay, so let's say you already set a meeting with your friends, but you might um, be quite late. You cannot join the meeting at sharp at 8 as scheduled. So don't worry, you can disable the waiting room. Okay, so by doing so, your participant, your other friends who is not the host of this meeting, can still join in first before you, so they can start the discussion. The only difference is they don't have the control as the admin of the meeting room. So there are certain things that they cannot do, but they can be in the room and start the discussion before you join. Okay, so again, go back to meetings and you can see here this is personal meeting, personal room just now. So you can see the difference of this meeting ID and this meeting ID. This is 9694 with your personal meeting ID 2680. Okay, so let's say you want to join a meeting. Okay, you don't have the link but you know the meeting ID. So you can click here and enter the meeting ID. After you click join, you need to enter the passcode. It's just like whenever you log in your email. Okay, so let's say you want the meeting to be now. It's not a scheduled meeting. So you want to host a meeting now. You can directly go to host a meeting. So you can choose either you want to join with your video on, off, or only share to share screen. So maybe we can start with video off. Okay, usually we start with video off so that we can do some changes or maybe touch up a little bit before we start the meeting. Okay, just click on with video off here. Okay, so open Zoom apps. Okay, so now here we are. If we are the host and we did not on our video, so this will appear. Go to participant here and then invite. Click invite. So because this is a full screen. Okay, so click invite here. Okay, you can see up here is the ID and this is the meeting password, or you can also copy the invitation here and send through WhatsApp, or you can send through email. Just click on your email, your default email. Okay, so let's say your friends wants to join in using the meeting ID. They can directly join using this ID and this meeting password. Okay, let's invite someone. Okay, now you can see someone's coming in, which is another Nadia. Okay, so you can admit that participant. If you disable the waiting room, so this Nadia can join directly without you asking permission from you. Okay, if you enable the video now. Okay, so now let's see how we can change our visual background. So go to this video, stop video here. There is a arrow pointing upward. So we can click here and go to either if you want to change the visual background, we can directly go to choose visual background, or you can go to video settings. So maybe we can directly go to video settings first because here, okay, so usually if your camera is working just fine, don't have to change any of the settings here. Okay, but you can also do some changes. Let's say touch up my appearance. Okay, so if basically it doesn't really make any difference. But if you click on touch up my appearance, you will appear more glowy. I think. Okay. So and then you can also change like the setting, like turn off my video when joining a meeting. This is for your subsequent meeting. Okay, or spotlight my video when speaking. So this is all the settings. Okay, you can also untick this one so that even though you when you are talking also the screen will just show all the participant, not focusing on the one who are talking. So it depends on your preference actually. Okay, so you can see here if I click on spotlight my video when speaking, so because I'm the one talking now, so my video will appear here. If I unclick here, so it doesn't appear. So this is my other account that I joined in. Okay, okay. So what else you can do? Okay, here the virtual background. So you can see here, this is the virtual background. None means I'm not using anything. This is my wall at home. Okay, or I can change to using the San Francisco background here like this. Okay, so yeah, sometimes there's a bit interference with the lighting, so your face will blend together with the background. This is the grass background. So last time we used this quorum background. Okay, so you can also change the background. Let's say you have other background, you can or pictures in your computer, you can click on this plus sign here and add virtual background image. Okay, so maybe what you can do before that, you can go to Google, um, and then you can just Google anything like Zoom background beach house. Just save any of the image here on your desktop. Okay, so I already save one of the image background zoom here. So this is the beach. Yeah, ta-da! So this is the image. Now we go back here. Okay, so you can see this is my background now. Yeah, so this is my beach background now. Okay, does it look nice? Okay. Now, if you realize that most of the time when you join in, this participant view is not here. Okay, so it will appear if I click on this button. Okay, so I can manage the participant. If you are the host, you can manage the participant. So let's say I can unmute my other participant. Okay, or I also can mute them. Okay, we can also request them to like start the video, make them the host, rename them. Okay, so let's say I want to rename this person as example. Okay, to make it less confused. Okay, so the name will be example. And then we can also remove the participant if they don't behave during the session. Okay, or we can put them again in waiting room if we plan to have other discussion without them. Okay, so let's go to the chat area. So maybe we can close this participant first to make it less confusing. Okay, so click on the chat. So here you can actually choose the option to either talk to everyone or only one of your friends. So in this example, I only have example. Okay, so I only want to send message to example. So if I click here, then it will appear privately. So actually I'm talking to example privately. Hi example. Okay, so you can also send files, click on files and then send any files like Google or any document that you want. Okay, let's now talk about share screen. So we close chat, we talk about share screen. So when we go to share screen, if you can see here, so this is the setting. Either only one participant can share at a time or multiple participant, but usually we only allow one to avoid the confusion. Okay, so click on advanced sharing. So who can share? All participant. If only host, then only you can share the video or any screen. Okay, So allow all participants to share so that your participant can also present their findings or present their presentation. If you want to share the screen, so you just click on this here. Okay, if you want to change any setting, so basically the arrow, the up arrow beside the icon is for the setting. It is similar for the mute button here for the audio. You can change your audio setting here. So if you use either internal or external microphone, you can change. Similar goes to the video here. Okay, all the settings is by clicking on the up arrow here. So if you're ready to share the screen with a participant, click on here. So this one will appear. Okay, so you can it is important for you to actually open the file that you want to share first before you click on share the screen. Okay, so also from share the screen, you can click on this whiteboard here. If let's say you want to draw anything, so let's say you have any, you want to explain certain things, is easier for you to illustrate. Let's say you want to draw a tree. A tree, okay, whatever tree. Okay, so this is how you use your a writing pad lah basically. Okay, or you want to draw any simple things to explain. Okay, this is too weird picture. Okay, maybe you can draw much nicer. So I also rarely use this drawing because it's a bit difficult to control. Okay, you can erase or you just stop sharing there. Okay, let's say you want to share your PowerPoint presentation, right? So what you can do is again click on share screen. So this is the PowerPoint that you want to share just now. Click on it. Okay. So now you can see the PowerPoint. So automatically your picture will be on the side and the control panel will be on the top if you are the one sharing the screen. So usually if we use PowerPoint presentation, we want other people to look at the presentation. So we will have to put in full screen mode, right? Okay. So if you put in full screen mode, what happen is it also appear as full screen in your screen. Okay. So now go again to share screen, but this time you go to advanced sharing and portion of screen. Okay. 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 Now, can you see this green box here? So by advanced sharing, you can share certain image on your desktop only. Okay. So even though this is my desktop appear like this, okay, but in the presentation, it will appear as full screen to others. Okay, because the others will only see this screen that I share here. So I can see my notes down here if I'm the one presenting. Okay, or let's say some of us prefer to use what we call presenter view, right? So we can click here. Okay, let me see. We can click on, yeah, presenter view. So we can click on presenter view here. Okay, if if I use the presenter view and advanced sharing, so the participant will only see, will able to see what I'm sharing in the screen box only. So they won't be able to see all of the other things here. Okay, can you see here on my screen? I have a timer Okay, so basically, if you want to set your meeting, you can go to video setting again. Go to general. You can click here, show my meeting duration. Okay. Don't worry about the other setting. You can change and play around with the setting later once you're more familiar with Zoom. Okay, this is reaction skin tone. This is not actually very important. Usually the default is I think this color or this color. Okay, but you can just play around. So this reaction is also I think a good way of interaction without disturbing the presentation. Where let's say when someone presenting, you want to give a thumbs up, just click here. Okay. Hmm. Okay, so we can click on the space bar to become temporarily unmuted. Okay, when we release, so we'll be automatically muted again. I think that's all. For recording, you can just click record, so the whole session will be recorded, and it is you will get the recording once you end the meeting. Okay.
Usually, if you already have the account, you can log in anywhere, just like your Facebook, and you can edit accordingly. Okay, so this is the mobile version. Okay, so the step is the same. Basically, you will first call that you can first if you haven't signed up or this is the first time you sign up, you can click on the sign up button there. And again, you need to include your, just now they asked for your verification, right? They asked for your birth date. So it's the same for mobile apps as well. If you already have the account, so you just need to sign in. Or if you don't want to sign in for this particular webinar, you can directly join a meeting using the passcode. Okay. So this is the flow. This is just a few minutes video. Oh, sorry. Okay, so yeah. If you're using Google, Gmail actually is quite more easier. So you just click on your account, your available Gmail account, and you can directly log in. Okay, sometimes it appear like this, so you click on the blue launch Zoom just now. Okay, so this one is the screen that will appear once you log in. So if you can see up there, the four main button there is more or less the same with what we are talking about, the account when we look at our desktop view, right? So you have new meeting, join meeting, shadow a meeting, and also share screen. Okay, so the function is more or less similar. So you can also, okay, let me go to first. You can also click down there, settings. Can you see, let me find a cursor. Okay, you can see at your right lower, right below here, you can see the setting. So when you click on setting, this will appear. So click on meeting. So this is your meeting setting. So basically you can choose either to always turn your video when you join a meeting or to always mute your microphone when you first join the meeting. Okay, so this is the other setting, more or less similar with the desktop version, but you have also driving mode, safe driving mode setting. Okay, usually we keep that on. Okay, so this is the chat, the setting for chat. You don't need to do any changes. Basically, you just, this is just to show overview of the setting for chat. Okay, then, yeah, you can also click on the meeting button down here. So this will appear. This works similar as your shadow meeting just now. Okay, you can start the meeting, send invitation, and also edit as well. Okay, then, okay. So if you want to schedule the meeting, click on the button just now. And then the process is more or less similar with the one that I showed for desktop just now. Okay, and again, you can change the passcode. Okay. So, but for these apps, because it is much more simpler, you can see that actually if you don't change anything, if you don't click on use personal meeting ID up here, it will automatically generate a new meeting ID for you. So if you don't have to change anything basically. Okay, so again, you have this option to enable waiting room and allow participant to join. Okay. Okay, so then you can invite your participant using this option. Okay. Okay, so if you want to start the meeting, you can click on start meeting. Okay. Now, okay, sorry for that. Okay, now, okay, let's say you already start the meeting. Okay, so you can, sometimes you cannot see any button down there. So you just click on your picture, so it will appear. The button down there will appear. So let's say you, I go so too fast just now. Actually, you can just, if you want to share screen, you just click on the green button, share screen just now. And this is to manage your participant. Again, okay, and also the 3 dots button there, you have the reaction function, you have the chat function. Okay. So otherwise I can see, okay, this is the safe driving mode. So if you swipe to the right, this mode will appear. So your video and you will be muted automatically. Your video will be off and you'll be muted automatically. If you want to talk, you just click on the speak now button. Okay, I think that's all. Additional information for those who are using iPhone, actually you can also change your virtual background as well as your touch up my appearance only for those using iPhone. Okay, similar like what we do on our desktop version just now. For Android users, so far we cannot change your virtual background or use the touch up appearance using Android lah. But more or less the function using mobile is the same. Okay, I think that's all. I did exceed the time a little bit. Okay, Thomas, back to you.
Hi all. I hope. Sorry, that was a little bit technical. I had a couple of questions in the chat, asking whether these functions are all for the paid or unpaid version, or the free version rather, not unpaid.
Right.
Okay. Dr. Nadia, I think a lot of these functions, for example, the recording and all that, all those functions, those are for the paid versions. But
no, Thomas. The one that I'm talking now is all the free version.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay,
did not
good.
talk about the licensed version. This is all the free version. Okay.
Okay.
The good thing about free version is, like I mentioned just now, the only limited part is you cannot, if you have more than one participant, if you have 1-to-1, like only 2 participants, you and another participant is unlimited. But you have more than one participant, every 40 minutes, the meeting will end. So it will end automatically, even though you are still talking like, so it will off automatically. But don't worry, because before I use my, before I subscribe to Zoom, I use the basic account for my class and also for my meetings. Usually what we do is after the meeting end for itself, we just rejoin again. And if the meeting is ongoing for 3 hours, you still need to rejoin again. But it's okay, basically, because it's still free. You don't need to pay anything. It's just like your
Mm. Okay, that's. I hope that addresses the. Sorry, I hope that addresses one question from one of our from Jojo, I believe, whether it's a paid or free account. So these are all free account. The difference, I guess, for a paid account is that you can have a longer, like what we're doing now, a longer session without interruption. But as Dr. Nadia said, even the free version, you more than one-on-one, that means more than say 3 people, you are limited to a maximum of 40 minutes. But what she has done in the past is she just get everyone say, okay, let's agree that when 40 minutes up, just rejoin rejoin the meeting again, and you get another 40 minutes. It's just an inconvenience. So these are all in the system itself. But let me just recap a little bit. The important functions at the bottom of your screen. If you can't see it, just scroll your cursor down to the bottom of the video screen, and all the the icons will pop up. From extreme left to mute, unmute, start video, stop video, security. This is, don't worry about that. The number of participants, you can see the number of people in the Zoom call. And in the middle there, you see the chat screen. That's where we are that's where we can chat to either directly one-on-one or to everyone. Normally, I suggest it's just to everyone so that it's easy for everyone to see the question and also the answer. Okay. We have also another question from Cookie. Free version, any limitations on number of participants? Offhand, I think it's 100, right?
Yeah, 100. Free version is 100.
Yeah, okay, Cookie. So the free version, if I'm not mistaken, is limited to a number, total of 100. Or is it 8? I thought the free version is limited.
It's still 100, Thomas, but the time is the
40 minutes. Okay, the limit is the 40 minutes. Okay. We have a question from Jane. Okay, these how much monthly if you buy a paid version? We recently subscribed, but if I'm not mistaken, it's roughly, you can Google it. It's roughly about 140, 150 ringgit for a 1-year subscription. It works out to be something like $15, $18 per month if you subscribe monthly. The one we got for Quorum recently, Dr. Nadia managed to search for a coupon which reduced it by about $20. So all in, it costs about 120, 130 US dollars. Sorry, let me just say these are US dollars per month. Okay.
About 500 something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
but actually there is different account that you can have your business account. Yeah. But the basic one is personal. I think the personal one, if you subscribe for personal one, is enough for your own class, or unless you have an organization or business, huge business, then you subscribe for the business account, which is much more expensive. Because personal account is, to me, you can see that from the free account is also so much function you can do already. It's just that your time will be limited. But for the personal account, it's more or less the same. But you can get unlimited time for Zoom, and you can get a free cloud where you can store all your recordings. Then there is a few additional features for personal account.
Yes. The other thing I would just want to tell you guys is that the Zoom, basically you do not need to subscribe for a paid version. If your intention is not to host a Zoom call, but more to go and log into a Zoom webinar, you just register as a Zoom user, and you can log into whichever webinar, the link, and there is no limit. You can stay as long as you want. Okay, so all this about recording, about organizing and doing the setting up the Zoom call, that is more if you are planning to organize a webinar or organize a meeting. But if all you're doing is just logging in to listen in and watch a webinar, there's no limit. We have a question from Florence Lee. For the free version, if the Zoom off, do I need to send new invitation link or can use back the old link? Or if the Zoom goes off, Dr. Nadia?
Yeah, for the free version, right? Yeah, you can use the same link, no problem. You can use the same link and rejoin again. So that's what we have been practicing before we actually subscribe for the personal account. Okay. So I think so far Zoom is quite easy to use, and okay lah, the only limit is like I mentioned just now, the time. So you can join in using the same invitation link. Okay, any more questions?
There's no questions in the chat, but let me just also perhaps explain a little bit. For Quorum, what we did when we looked at all this online, applications to host our webinar, we looked at the criteria. It's like choosing anything. You just need to know the criteria that you want, the things that you need. And one of the things it helped us for when I looked at it is just to eliminate all the others that does not meet all of our functions. One of the things we needed was a recording function, because we wanted to record and then post it on our Facebook or on our website, whatever, so that people can revisit the webinar. So in that sense, it limited us to 3 options. Zoom was one of them. The other one is Microsoft. Microsoft is a lot more powerful from what I understand, but at the same time, it's also a lot more complicated. I think not as kind of user-friendly. It is user-friendly if you are more technically inclined, from what I understand. So what we did was eventually, and most people were more familiar with Zoom, that's why we decided on Zoom. In any case, it's only a 1-year subscription. If eventually we get to be very big and we need a much stronger platform, then we can revisit all the others. Okay. The other thing is, the other tip I will have for everyone is that if you're at home or outside and you are doing join a webinar, if you have trouble with reception, try switching off your video. Just remain on audio, because that will help reduce your data usage, and therefore hopefully make the audio clearer. And to do that is on the bottom left. The first button is the mute, to control the audio. The second button is to control the video. Like now I've muted, I've stopped my video. Now I'll start it again and you can see me. Okay, and then I've switched it off again.
Okay, maybe we can try ask everyone to, if they want to try to on and off their video.
Yeah. You guys can try it, and then again, if you can hear me, why don't you try unmuting yourself if you want to speak, or if you want to hear yourself speak as well down there. Just try that.
Okay, I have a question, Thomas or Dr. Nadia.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I've heard it's a very good presentation by you. I've heard about people saying that even in the internet, Zoom can be hacked. I'm not so sure about that fake news or real news, because our data are shared when we Zoom. Is that possible to be hacked?
Okay, just now I mentioned about Zoom bombing, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, in the earlier pandemic, during really in March, February, where everyone start using this online webinar things, Zoom become very famous. And at that point, they actually cannot cope with all this incoming people using Zoom. So that time, there is an issue with security. But actually, we also from the university, we actually quite bad. So it's using Zoom for a while, but then we received this notes and also security information from Zoom. They already upgrade their security. They already do a lot of changes. So far after that, there is no longer any issue. So only in the earlier phase. But actually, when we talk about all this cyber security, right, even our email, our WhatsApp web, everything can be hacked. So using technology, this is the what we call the limitation, so the disadvantage. So, but for now, as far as I'm concerned, and from my knowledge, we Zoom already upgraded their security, so it shouldn't be any problem.
Thanks. That's what I do immediately after the meeting, Zoom meeting. I just unlock it.
Yeah, everyone start to uninstall the Zoom apps and all, right? So we also did the same, but then we received all this comments, all this feedback from Zoom, because the university themselves use Zoom, so we more convinced now. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. I think just to add a little bit to that, I think as long as you're on a smartphone or tablet or a computer, as long as you're onto some social application, right? There's always a chance that you know, for hacking and all that. I've just watched a movie called the Big Hack. It's about Cambridge Analytica. It's quite interesting. If you guys have, you know, now with the CMCO, you got time at home, you can want to watch your Netflix. Go and watch that. It's interesting how they collect data, what they call big data, and how they can actually influence people, influence how people behave. But I won't get into that. So on Dr. Nadia, on the question about you know, whether people can access our data through the Zoom app, it is possible, but as Dr. Nadia said, there was a big hoo-ha, and Zoom actually responded by actually tightening up their security. So, I mean, it's what they say and what they claim, but again, you know, it's probably no worse. Personally, I think it's no worse than using Facebook or using Twitter or using Instagram. If you use any of this, or even your WhatsApp, if you use any of these, chances are they're collecting data from you. Now, I think the question for Cookie is whether they can collect your banking data and all that, correct? That's the key one. They can collect things about your age, information about your age, your address. Okay, so be it.
Yeah, and the password.
Yeah,
and all the passwords.
correct. So whether they can collect the data on your banking details or your passwords and all that. I don't have an answer for that. I will only say that I will only say that don't store your passwords on your phone. You know, go back to bread and butter. You know, the old school buku 35. Get a buku 35 from the. Get a buku 35 and write down the username and passwords and lock it up somewhere in your drawer. Okay, sorry, that's my solution to it, and that's what I do. Okay. I hope that answers your question.
Something?
Yes, sure. Go ahead, Lilian, is it?
Actually, even Lilian here.
Yeah.
Actually, even you watch Netflix, the
Netflix
movie, all that, they also collect your data.
Correct.
Okay? But so far, I'm in banking industry for many years. So we very concerned on all the security things, you see. So actually for myself, you can actually certain apps you can use it to store your password, all that. But of course, you don't write it very clear for people. Okay, so that kind of apps is like you can use your fingerprint to go in. There's no password, only you can go in. Okay, then inside say your Astro, say you have Astro password, you don't put that Astro lah, you just put movie. How they know this movie is what system? Only you know, right? So say in the you have many type of email, so you can put like C email, A email. Only you know what is C mean, A means what. the office email, one is personal email, something like that. So you do your own way of creating, then you still can store in your phone. Just like in banking, we have many systems. It's impossible for you to go and remember there are hundreds of passwords and you need to change every month. Okay. So what we do is, because system, you have very unique name. So you put the name there, the system name, say it's SOS TOD. You put that name, then you keep your password there. But how people know what is TOD, what is SOS, right? So only you know. So it's quite okay. You can store, but you store in a smart way. I also use one way to keep ATM password. Okay, what you do is you use one of your friend or whoever contact number in the contact list. You may have maybe 300 contact. Okay, so you use someone, maybe that person don't have house, you don't have his house number, you only have his handphone number. So what you do, you write the password in the middle. Maybe in front you add the common housing area like 80. At the back you put 00 or something. You know that middle one is your password, or the back is your password, or in front is your password. So you do it this way, find your password and try on. Is impossible. You have 200-300 contact inside. How do I know where you store? Right? Which is the correct actual phone number and which is actually used as password? You don't know. Yeah, you have to think of a way lah.
Yeah, good tips.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, very good tips, Lillian. But I'll just share one thing with you. I used to do that. I used to put it into a folder, and I used to do that. And then one day my phone crashed. when my phone crashed, I lost everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
but,
you have to do double.
Yeah.
One is in your phone. Another one you have to write down, like the 555 booklet. Okay, update once a while. So that in case one phone lost or crash or anything, then you lost everything.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah,
I mean, they're all good tips. It's very good. If anyone else has a tip that they want to share, please unmute yourself and share it. Most welcome. Yeah.
Agree, Lillian. But anything that is electronic always can crash. So I believe that the 35 buku is a better way. A paper and a pen can never forget.
That's true. I mean,
35 is good, but you cannot carry with you.
Yeah.
Because if people steal it, they got hold of all your password. Okay. So 35 you may want to keep at home only. So when you are outside, so happen you need to access to something urgently. But how are you going to get back to that?
Yeah, that's true. Well, the other thing is also, when you want to use these passwords, chances are you don't want to use the password in say a computer shop using their computer. You should always use your own laptop, your own phone, your own tablet, or even your household one, meaning
don't use public Wi-Fi.
Yeah, correct. Try not to use that. And yes, public Wi-Fi is another issue from what I understand, from what I've read.
Yeah. Never use.
Correct. So again, like I said, there's no right or wrong way. All these are interesting tips, all very good tips. Another tip I can share is, for example, if I want certain things, right, certain emails, whatever, I tend not to have different email passwords for different emails. I tend to have a series of passwords for the emails, and I change this, say maybe every 3 or 6 months or every year. Yeah. That's what I do. But it's the same password for all the emails that I have.
Oh.
So that's what I tend to do. Even on my debit card, like ATM cards, I do that as well. I have a series of numbers because people tend to forget. One of comments on the chat is that they forget their passwords. Correct. Very, very common problem. But what you can do,
both your phone can ring.
just use have a set of series of passwords that you use, consistent, but you use it for all the cards and you change it every 6 months or 3 months for all the cards. It's a bit of a hassle, but
yeah,
it actually helps to secure your accounts.
Huh? But you don't have SIM card there, what? How?
No SIM card, but got Wi-Fi ma. They call the lot ma. Thank you everyone for your tips.
Okay, any other questions? We're 3:10 already, so we're just we've done the 1 hour. We can continue if anyone else want to add to this. But otherwise, the recording of
You
this.
want to know?
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
You want to know which app I use? Do you all want to know what apps I use to keep the password?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
I've been using it for 10 years. It's called Keeper, Keeper. I think they will charge, but I use the free one. So the free one, the problem is now you cannot set folder. Last time when it started these apps, you can even set folder. So I can keep like airline all together, office thing together, whatever, you know. So you can create folder to do a proper filing. Now it's like you just key in one, they just go into line. Okay, no arrangement for you improper. So it's called Keeper. So you can use only remember one password to go inside you key in all kind of passwords, so you only remember one password. Or you don't want to use the password, you use a thumbprint. So you have two way to go in. One is password, one is thumbprint. So every time you just thumbprint, you go in already.
Okay, so Keeper is a folder. Let me recap. Keeper is a folder.
Keeper is an app.
It's an app that keeps that allows you to keep store some important information, and you only need to know either use your thumbprint or a password in order to access that app. Okay, that's a very good tip.
Yes. I type in the chat there. Okay. You can go and find it. Yeah.
Okay, we have a comment from Mr. Phua Wikong. If you are using apps to keep password, better pay a bit for the established and well-known apps. Yes, that is a very good point. Generally, like anything else, go for a verified source, go for a trusted source. You know, even if you're like forwarding articles on WhatsApp, go for a verified source. So in this case, go for a verified app developer and something that's better known. And if you have to pay a little bit, so be it. It's worth the money. Okay. Any other questions from anyone? Zoom. If not, okay, we have one suggestion from Julie. You say you may use
our TSU and our Together Against Cancer group.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I was about to say there's a post by Julie. You may use, for example, ABC 4D. ABC may be your prefix to mean something. 4D may mean your 4-digit number. 6D may mean something else. Yeah, you can have a bit of a code when you do your passwords and all that, or how you store it. Again, you know, sometimes a lot of that depends on memory, but it's also a very good tip, which you do. Okay. Any other questions before Okay, if there are no further, thank you everyone for joining, and thank you to Dr. Nadia for the presentation. hope everyone found it useful, and this recording will be posted on our Facebook app if you need to refer to something that she presented during this webinar. Okay. Have a nice weekend, the rest of the Sunday, and see you guys at the next webinar.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.